She did.
And I went, ha, and a hi-ya, and a hoo-ah. And then I kick her, sir.
What is that?
It's from Anastasia.
Oh, okay. Well, at least we got our clip for the opener. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Hardly Working, the show about me and Kelly coming together as one family, job, profession. I forgot the intro.
That's okay.
How's it go?
What?
How's it go?
Goes hi. And welcome to the Hardly Working podcast, the podcast where we talk about life, love, and labor from the couple that works, plays, and stays together. I'm Kelly.
And I'm SP.
And I nailed it.
You nailed it, like you always do.
Thanks.
I wrote it. I should know it.
I know. That's
we
okay.
were talking before we started about how we should probably change the intro.
I truly was like, oh, he's changing it right now.
Yeah, live
For the first time.
Anyway, we almost died.
Yes, I was
And
just
we're
about to say that.
Grateful to be here. Do you want to recount the tale? We're fine. Everything's fine.
Here's the truth. I was eating a really great sandwich from Italia, and we were listening to a podcast, not ours, but one on the way here. And then all of a sudden, we were swerving, and there was a semi swerving into our lane. You saved our lives.
Thank you.
And then there was a crazy white truck.
Lifted pickup truck.
That was
basically like any truck you see in Simi Valley.
Yeah, it was the root cause of the almost accident, as multiple people began to flip him off as he was driving erratically.
Yeah,
down the
continued
rest
to
of
like
the
cut people
freeway.
off in front of us. It was crazy. Yeah, so this dude is merging on the freeway, and we're already on the freeway. There's a semi truck to my right, and I'm in the lane to the left of the semi truck. This guy comes in, cuts off the truck so last minute that the semi truck swerves into our lane. I swerve into the next lane. Then this guy goes around the front of the semi truck, goes and cuts off this white passenger van in front just to swerve out of the way too. Like literally just antagonizing people
of the freeway.
Yes.
To then go ride someone's butt and then cut them off, and we watched them flip him off too. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, not just rude, but dangerous. So that was an interesting. If we sound a little skittish today, it's because we almost died.
Yeah, but and I will say this too. We've been talking about this a lot, is that something has happened. I mean, obviously something big happened in the world within the last couple of years, but something has happened to people where they just are like not great drivers. And I think it's because they just don't care.
Yeah.
Like you know this about me, but I am like a crazy person when it comes to being on your phone in the car. Like I'm not on my phone. If I have to be on my phone because I missed a direction or something, it like freaks me out. And I purposely got a car that I can call people and respond to people via like voice to text through my car, and also have like maps on my screen, because I don't like looking at my phone, because I don't think it's very safe. You know, I'm a crazy person in that. And the amount of people recently that we have like that we're like, oh, that person is driving like a crazy person. The amount of people that are like just watching TikToks on their phone or like scrolling Instagram.
TikTok for 2 seconds.
Last week, this guy was straight up reading his email as he was driving. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like what? Mm-hmm. What is so important that you're like, yeah, I'll risk my life and the lives of everyone else on the road just to read this email?
It's true. Yeah. So
anyways,
that's been
crazy.
fun. And speaking of scary and less than wonderful moments, I had one of those this weekend.
Uh-huh.
You know, I never thought I would be this parent, because growing up playing sports, there was always a parent on the field who was like, you're like, whose dad is that? Turns out it's me.
It's you.
So we were at our kid's soccer game this Saturday, and the short of the story is like our kid got pretty egregiously like pushed down to the ground.
And then lay in the fetal position holding her leg because she was in pain.
Yeah, with no call from the ref, nothing, and everyone was standing there watching.
And can I remind you, she's 8.
She's only 8 years old. And if you know me, you probably know I'm not a yeller. I'm not like, that's just not who I am. I was yelling to the point where I thought it was another parent. It was someone who worked with the league, had to kind of get in my face and calm me down, which is crazy. And I'm slightly ashamed and embarrassed about it. But the truth is, it's not that there wasn't a call. It's the fact that like I'm watching my 8-year-old get harmfully thrown to the ground. Yeah. And I was like, we don't even like soccer. I don't need my 8-year-old having a permanent lifelong injury because she was 8 and playing soccer and no one was, making sure the rules were followed. So it was a bit of an embarrassing moment.
It's okay. I had to walk away because I started crying.
Yeah, it wasn't great for Kellie either.
Both kind of embarrassing in their own ways. I think you did the thing that dads do. I mean, you know the story of my mom, and we called her and she told us this too. But both my brothers played sports for a long time, and Ryan did wrestling. He's 6'1", 6'2". I don't know. He's really tall. How tall did he say he was? I was like 6'5". But
he's not 6'1" or 2". He's like 6'4", 6'5".
6'4", 6'5".
6'6".
He's very, very tall. But he was wrestling, and some kid picked him up, and my mom stood up on the bleachers and literally yelled out, "Put my son down!" And she was like, it was one of those irrational things that like mama bear just comes out, or like that parent of like, I need to protect my child just comes out. And that's totally what happened to you.
100%.
And I just freaked out and like started crying.
Well, you started freaking out once the dude started yelling at me.
Yeah. Because I was...
And also, I, as a person who doesn't yell, it is a bit jarring when that happens.
Yeah, and I have no reference of sports. My brothers played sports, yes, but like I didn't. I was a musical theater gal, choir gal. You know, that was me. So watching her fall, I'm already sitting in... I told you, already sitting in my chair, like holding on to the armrest, like telling myself, don't stand up, don't like watch it play out. Because you're not supposed to get on the field. I'm such a rule follower. You can't go on the field. You can't do anything. Like she has to tell us. And then SP stands up, starts yelling. And so I go, it's worse than I think it is. I don't know. And then Whitney goes on the field and because she's the coach. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then this guy starts yelling at SP. And I'm like, it's not okay. She's not okay. Yeah. I did yell at the guy. And I did say something like, I could care less about soccer if my daughter gets hurt. And that was the moment I was like, I need to walk away.
Yeah. And that's kind of what happened. And I love that we always have each other's backs.
Yeah.
I love that about you and us. Thanks. And we'll move on here in a second. I just had to get it off my chest. But yeah, what happened was, I think the initial thought was people thought I was upset because there wasn't a penalty called.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. But that guy started, after telling me, we
have the advantage.
Yeah, he was like trying to explain soccer to me. And I was like, stop. I don't care about soccer. My job as a parent is to make sure that my kid is okay.
Yeah.
And no one cares. In the real world, it doesn't matter about who scores a goal or who had the advantage. So you can stop talking to me about this.
It was when he made that comment that I stood up, came behind you and said what I said and then walked away. And then you said what you said, but I was already gone.
Yeah. So anyway, it was a interesting week on the soccer field. Yeah. So there's that.
I will say this. It's an interesting thing to have someone that you love do something that you wouldn't choose for them and know that it will affect you emotionally and personally, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Like we can't just take her out of soccer. It's not going to happen because her other parents, and I think Brooklyn, for the most part, like it.
Yeah.
So it's a very weird place to be in.
It is tough. And the last thing I'll say about this, and we'll move on. We have so much fun, lighthearted stuff, games, stories, unpopular opinions, all of that. So we'll move on here in a sec. The last thing I'll say is this, and much like you, I'm very much a rule follower. Mm-hmm. But this is bugging me because I got in trouble one of the first weeks because when Brooklyn got knocked over the first time.
She gets knocked over a lot.
Right. And we're working on that. I went out on the field and I got not yelled at, but Whitney had to remind me like, hey, it's not allowed. Parents can't. To which she and I talked about it. And I told her like, the reality is like, I hear that, but it just doesn't really matter to me. This has nothing to do with Whitney. It's everything to do with soccer. And the same thing. It's like, we don't do that here. Like, I'm sorry. We don't yell and protect our kid. I understand the yelling, but for me, I'm like, my concrete rule is take care of my kid. Your made up rules about your little soccer club, that's all fake stuff. So there isn't a rule that I can't come on the field. There's a rule, but your rule isn't a law. And it was just really rubbing me the wrong way because I was like, I'm not willing to let my daughter get hurt for the sake of stupid made up sports and fake rules.
And she's 8. She's not like she's a teenager who's like chosen to do this and has done this for many, many years. She's 8.
Yes, it's true. Okay, that's enough of that.
Soccer.
Time to shake it off. Gotta shake it off.
Like it.
Yes, I don't like the way that made me feel when it was happening.
That's okay.
All right.
Anything else fun happened this week?
Okay, so we really did have a jam. We almost died again. We did have a really jam-packed week, so I want to hit some things kind of quickly.
Go for it.
The next thing was we were talking about it on the last episode. We were about to go see A Haunting in Venice.
Yes.
Give me your 10-second review of A Haunting in Venice.
I liked it more than you did. I enjoyed it more.
This is the third in the Hercule Poirot trilogy.
I liked it more. I felt like it was a little thin.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I'm excited to watch it again because that's my favorite part about mysteries is not knowing what happens. But then I like watching it again once I know what happens
To see if you can pick up
to
on
see
it.
if I can pick up on it. And some of
Yeah.
the stuff I knew, like
Don't say it.
or early on. I'm saying
Okay.
some of the stuff I knew early on, and I was like, yeah, I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But other stuff, I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. I'd probably watch it again at some point, but it did. It wasn't what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. You know, when they like sum things up at the end of a mystery thing, think like Clue, where they're like, this is how it happened.
But not in a fun way.
Yeah, but
Like
they
how
and
Clue
they
does
did it,
it.
and I was like, I wish I could have seen the movie you're explaining. Like, had I seen those pieces, I just didn't feel like it did. So it was fine, but not my favorite of the, I don't know what you'd call the trilogy. I guess
It's not a trilogy, the series.
well, it is a trilogy now.
Yeah, but it might be more.
Because it was Murder on the Orient Express,
Death on the Nile.
Death of the Nile,
Haunting
and
in
Haunting
Venice.
in Venice.
Yeah, I know, but it could be more. So I don't want to call it a trilogy. You would call it the series.
That's fair.
What was?
Tina Fey was great in it,
Oh.
though. She was really good. The woman whose name escapes me from
Everything Everywhere. All at
Everything
Once.
Everywhere. This happened to me last week when we were talking about the Loki premiere, but she was in it. She plays the mom in that movie, and I apologize, I just can't think of her name right now. But she was very, very
She's
good.
so great.
So it's definitely worth checking out if you're interested in it. But it wasn't my cup of tea. A couple other things worth mentioning. I've got another one tonight, but I mentioned last week that I started another class. It's not an acting class. It's actually it's an on-camera class, and it was awesome.
That's great.
It was 3 hours, and I never know because some of these classes are really hard emotionally and in other ways. This one was so fun.
Yeah.
It was such a good time. Like a definite pro teaching the class. Reminded me, I've said this to you, but reminded me of my buddy Corey Live.
Yeah.
So it felt like I've known him forever. So it was really, really cool. And I can't wait for tonight. It's going to be an awesome time.
I'm excited for you. I can't wait to hear about it. You came back from that class very excited.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be really good for you.
I hope so.
You like your teacher, and hopefully you'll also get along with the students in this class.
Oh, yeah.
Because you were at a different day. That's same class.
Yeah, same class, different people. I'm sure it'll be awesome.
Yeah. That same night, I had dinner with Ashley May,
Yeah.
and you came and joined us. Super fun. Love my time with Ashley May. She's so great. One of these days, we'll get Jonathan in there
One of these
with
days.
us. I promise, Jonathan, we want to hang with you. We just like having girls' nights. So we have girls' nights, and it's fun, and I like it.
Nothing wrong with that.
But it was a really great time. We went to Bakari, which was great for me. And yeah, I just love her. I have
good
nothing
time.
else to say other than it was just great.
We had an awesome time last night, too.
Yep.
With some of our other friends, Kate
Yeah.
and Peter. We had a lovely, I'd call it a fall-inspired evening.
It was. Kate did a great job. She decorated her whole, her dining room table. Her house was beautiful.
Yep.
They had a curated menu for the evening,
Which is very fancy.
which was really fun. It was really good. We had a blast, and we got to meet her little pupper,
Yeah.
Bosco.
Who is a dachshund?
Yeah.
Dachshund? It's a weenie dog.
Yeah.
Long-haired weenie dog.
Which I've never met a long-haired weenie
So
dog.
fun. And like
I was
a
like, oh my
golden retriever
gosh.
color.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
she's so fluffy.
We also got to help make the ravioli, which was fun.
Never done that
like
before.
the pasta from scratch and all
Yeah.
that. It was very, very cool.
I knocked over 2 drinks making ravioli.
That is true.
Somebody put his drink right where my elbow was.
It wasn't there when I put it down, but yeah,
It
your elbow
was.
found my drink.
Ah.
But that was a lot of fun. The last thing worth mentioning, which isn't something that happened, but rather something from a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are an animal lover, speaking of weenie dogs,
Is that today?
depends on when people are listening to this. It's coming up here soon,
Okay.
though. So this time last year, we did lose one of our favorite dogs, Toast. We ended up having to put him down after I think he was about 13 years old. I think he just turned 13 or
He was
just
such
turned
a
12.
good pupper.
He was the best. So
You should put in a picture of him on his birthday with a little hat on.
I'll put in something for sure.
The sweetest pupper
But
there
if
ever
not
was.
for anyone else, at least now that I know my mom started listening on the last episode, this can be for you. That we missed Toast and he was awesome. It's not the same thing as losing a family member, like a human, but it really can be pretty close in terms of like how the weight that you carry, from losing a
yeah.
loved pet.
I mean, yes. And I think if people can relate, for me, it's been 8 years since I lost my Mocha.
Yeah, I never even met Mocha.
I know, and I can still cry if I talk about her.
Yeah.
She was my buddy,
Yeah.
my cat.
So just
Anyway, but we love Toast.
a little
Miss him.
moment of memory. And if you've
Moment.
lost a pet, take a moment, think about that pet, enjoy it. And we did it.
And now go get a new one. I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
So a couple things, and then we'll jump into some shout outs. Wanted to say that we did go to the talent show for Brooklyn this week.
We did. She nailed it. What was I trying to say? Killed it, nailed it, rocked it, all the things.
I'm not sure if we said it before, but she was dancing with 3 of her friends to I Just Can't Wait to Be King from The Lion King. Very cute. They were all in their little Lion King outfits and all that stuff. It was very, very fun. And you know what? All the kids did a great job.
Yeah.
But boy, do I was texting my friend Jen about this. I get secondhand embarrassment a lot.
Yeah.
Like if someone's on stage and they're struggling, I just viscerally feel it.
Yeah.
And so it was basically that for 2 hours most of the time.
Not everyone, but a lot of people.
But a lot. So, but that's what parenthood is.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think so. I don't know.
I don't know. And then the last thing, we had a great dinner at Din Tai Fung with Lindsay and Levon. Boy, great. It was a busy week.
It was a busy week.
Very busy, but very, very fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of people we love, ready for some shout outs?
Yes.
Let's do it. This shout out's a little bit different because it's not text. It's actually a video.
Oh,
that
what?
Was sent. That's right.
A video.
So I'm going to pull it up in a second. Boy, holding my phone like that makes me feel very old.
Can you give me anything about this video?
Nope.
Who's it from?
Nope.
None of it?
Oh, of course I can. So this is from John.
Okay.
Now, we've got some reoccurring themes that have happened through
for sure.
This first season and now the second. Death is one of them.
Yes.
But more importantly, the Eggo waffles, brunch in a jar, Appalachian sippin' cream. That was from one of the first few episodes we couldn't find for our season finale last season.
I need you to know that I keep looking for it and I cannot find it in California. Like I just cannot.
We looked the other day.
Literally,
at
we just
Total
looked.
Wine, and they still didn't
find
have it.
And I even asked somebody about it and they're like, yeah, we're going to get a shipment in. And then I went and there wasn't any.
There was no Eggo waffles sippin' cream. Well, John found it.
No way.
A full jar of it and sent a video of him trying it. So I'm going to let you see that. And then I'll put the audio in as well for everyone listening. And you can see it at home, but hit that button and let's see what John has to say.
Well, after the incredible hype that both SP and Kellie had in regards to the Eggo
he really found
brunch in a jar, I thought that I would do a little tasting with them, mostly because they couldn't find it, and I thought that this was the most appropriate time to do it. Being it's 10 o'clock at night, I might be a few drinks deep, but it is brunch somewhere. In Australia?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about time changes and
I'm
zones or anything like that, but I thought that we would pop this together. See how this goes. All right, let's see. It's got a nice... it's got a lovely aroma of...
I'm so jealous.
That morning after regret. That's most of the thing that is here. Let's see how this...
Oh my gosh, it's so thick.
He's pouring so much of it.
Oh.
It's like a normal drinking glass and it's half full right now.
Oh, God. I mean, there's nothing better than brunch in a jar. Yeah, it's waffles, syrup, and cream liqueur.
It's
I thought there was some sausage in there, but I was mistaken. Let's see.
Have it on the side.
It's got a lovely floral notes, mostly Wisconsin butter, and lots of gluten. Yeah.
Let's see it, John.
Let's see how it hits the palate.
Oh boy.
He drank the whole glass?
He just pounded it.
Eggo, brunch in a jar.
Oh, I can
His
feel
face
it.
at the end, I'm like, I don't think he liked it.
Oh my gosh. It is
so funny.
Cute face though.
Yeah.
Thank you, John, for sending that in.
John.
And for taking one for the team and trying it. Maybe so I don't have to.
Yeah.
I kid you not, my stomach is a little bit like it thinks it's coming.
Yeah.
It thinks it's about to have the sip and cream.
You're not about to have
Not
sip and
gonna have
cream.
it. But that was awesome. Thank you for sending that in, John. I will watch it later over and over and over and be creepy. And think about what it'd be like to be taste testing it there with you.
Right. Maybe we'll help fly him out and he can come taste test with us other things.
Sometimes I look at Kellie to see if she'll interrupt me when I don't know where I'm going when I start saying
I'm in
something.
it.
But she looked at me and she was just like, I'm going to let him keep going.
Yeah,
Where is he going?
Here I am. I'm in it.
Don't forget, you can always hit us up with anything, with videos, unpopular opinions, crazy stories, stuff that's going on with you at hardlyworkingfans at Gmail. The reason I said at was because we also have another new Instagram, which we talked about last week. That's Instagram is at
Hardly Working Insta.
Hardly Working Insta. Yeah, boom. Those are the best ways to get a hold of us
Yep.
if you want to send something in, just like John did, and we can feature you right here on the show.
Yeah.
Now, each and every week, there seems to be a new segment that Kellie has a segment.
Mm-hmm.
And I never know what it's going to be. Am I in luck this week? Do
You
we have
are.
another segment?
Are you ready for that taste is from what state?
Ooh, I like it. Should we do it together? 1, 2, 3.
That taste is from what state?
Wow. We're really good at the bumpers.
That was good, right?
Okay. Yeah, it was good.
Okay. So here's the deal. It's fall, y'all.
Yep.
We're in the month of Halloween, and boy, am I leaning into it this year.
You sure are.
I know. Last week we did some Halloween-esque stuff. That
Costumes.
Yes.
Yeah. We rated the top potential costumes of the year.
We did.
Or ranked them, rather.
Yeah. This week, you know, I had a couple things going in my head, like we could do a candy taste test, or like we could name the top 10 best candy to buy for Halloween. But I found something even better.
None of that was good enough.
None of it was good enough. So I actually have some things for you today.
Okay.
That should help you with this little segment that we're going to do. And hopefully you listening at home will learn something, or you can tell us if it's right or wrong. I did take this from the internet. So I didn't do this poll myself, but this is what it is. So let me tell you the things I have, and then I'll tell you what you're doing. So first off, thank you, Brooklyn Ray, for letting me borrow the thing that you don't know that you're letting me borrow. That's our daughter. I have for you.
You want me to hold it?
A cutout of the 50 states of the United States of America. They do come out, which I think will come in handy for you later.
Yeah, so if you're listening, this is a puzzle, like a wood puzzle
Yeah.
that is in the shape of the U.S., and each state is a puzzle piece. And I think it's just meant for children to learn how, like,
It
what
teaches you
states there are
the
and stuff.
capitals too.
Okay,
so,
great.
but behind each state is a capital. So
Love
here's
it.
the deal. Keep all the things in.
Okay.
Because today you're going to be guessing what candy is the most popular in each state. We're not going to get through all the states, but we are going
thank
to get
God.
through some of them.
Okay.
And some candies have multiple states that have are like the top, and I'll give you the number, and I'll also
Okay.
give you a description.
Is it multiple choice?
I mean, you have 50 states to choose from.
Oh, in that sense, there is more of a word bank
multiple
situation.
choice, but we'll feel it out as we go along.
All right, I'm down
Okay.
to clown.
So here's the deal. I also have a bucket of candy.
That's more exciting than a puzzle.
So you can also try the candy to see if you can get more in tune with maybe the state that likes that candy. And I'll give you some hints and stuff. So we can start off with the most popular candy
Okay.
in the United States, apparently.
Yes.
It has a total of 7 states that this is the most popular candy. Does it make sense what we're doing?
Yeah, you're going to tell me a candy, and I'm going to say what state it's most popular in.
Yeah. That picked it as our number 1. So we're starting off with M&M's.
Pulling them out of the cool jack-o'-lantern themed bucket.
Yeah, they're a Ghouls mix, which doesn't necessarily matter. But there are 7 states that have said this is the top candy in their state.
Oh, gosh.
And I can tell you a little bit about if you're...
You've got fun facts?
I got fun facts.
Kelly,
if you're
fun facts?
Me, right? If you are an M&M person, this says you're a classic person and maybe a little introverted. You probably enjoy pre-21st century movies and vintage music. And don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You have a colorful personality, and you may not be as outgoing, but you can be an energetic person at times and enjoy doing the things you love.
I
Does
gotta
that help?
say, if I could sum up that description in one word, you are boring, which is actually exactly how I would describe people whose favorite candy is just a piece of chocolate.
Okay.
So this is going to have to be in a boring state. It may be shared in...
There are 7 of them.
Yes. So if I get one, do I get the point?
Yeah. But
Okay.
I'll have you keep
So
guessing.
I think it is going to be like something like North and or South Dakota. Are the Dakotas one of them?
No.
Okay. Off to a great start so far.
M&M's.
How about, let's see, North Carolina?
Yes.
Yes. What a boring place. So I got one of them. And you know what? I've got a fun fact about North Carolina because there's a
No.
bunch written on the back of this board.
No.
Do you know the capital of North Carolina?
Raleigh. That's on the thing.
Oh, well, there goes my
I also
game.
know that it's Raleigh, North Carolina.
All right. Okay. So I got one right. What are the other 6?
You don't want to guess anymore?
How many candies do we have? Like to guess from?
A lot.
Okay. Then you just tell me.
Okay. I'll change it up the way we do this too.
Sure.
Makes you feel better. North Carolina is one. Sorry, I'm eating M&Ms as well. You said boring, so I just want you to know. I apologize to everyone that he just called boring.
I don't.
Oregon.
I meant it. Boring. That's
it
why
out.
it's called Boregan. Okay. Boring's out.
Rhode Island.
Boring.
I don't think you can take Rhode Island out.
No, that's, I think,
Vermont.
the state motto. Vermont.
And Washington, D.C.
Okay. Hold on. Boy, this is not looking good for me. So I don't know that I can take...
You can't take Vermont
Vermont is attached to New Hampshire. And Rhode Island's attached to Connecticut.
Okay.
And Massachusetts.
And Washington, D.C.
And Washington, D.C. is not technically a state.
That's probably true, but it is a place. Kansas?
Boring. Boy, I didn't know there'd be a geography quiz here.
You got it.
Kansas.
It's like in the middle,
There it
right
is.
there. Yep. And the most boring place of all, California.
How did I know?
I was like, wow, you just
California
straight out the
gold.
gate called us boring.
Look, I don't know where we got these facts from, but that is boring. In California, look, a lot of boring parts of California.
All right. I'm going to switch it up a little bit,
Okay.
and I'm going to read you the states, and you can try to tell me.
Uh-oh, I'm losing Nevada.
It's okay. I can give you this too if you want to look in here, or I'll give you some options.
Okay.
How about this? I'm changing it up on the fly, everybody.
On the fly, baby.
So
Live entertainment.
this,
That's
there are
recorded.
6 states that like this
Jeez.
candy. Those states include Delaware,
Oh, I see. Okay.
Illinois,
Uh-huh.
Maine, Nebraska, New York, and Texas.
Oh, okay. Snickers.
No, I was going to give you some options.
Okay,
but
give me
that
some
was-
options. That's a good idea.
So you said Snickers.
So it's not Snickers. Snickers seems like a Texas thing.
I should just lay them all out so you can see them all. Okay, we got Skittles, Snickers, Sour Patch Kids, Almond Joy. Do you want all of the options? You just want me to
Nope.
give you? Okay.
Is one of them already in there, the correct answer?
One of them is already in here.
I think it's Skittles.
No.
Wow. Oh, I'm so sorry. I meant to say Sour Patch Kids.
You would be correct. Sour Patch Kids.
I got it on the third try.
These ones are zombies.
Zombies. Oh, very within
you want one?
theme. I'm good.
Okay. Do you want to know what it
I'm
says
more of
about
an
you?
M&M person.
Yeah, I know. Do you want to know what it says about you if you like Sour Patch
I would
Kids?
love to know, yeah.
It says you may seem a little hard to approach and cranky at first.
Yeah.
There are times where you pull stunts that are questionable and can raise some trouble. But once people get to know you, they see you have good intentions. You warm up to your peers easily and create strong, trusting friendships that will last forever.
That's a lot
So,
just from
Delaware,
eating Sour Patch Kids.
Illinois, Maine, Nebraska, New York, and Texas. That's, if you live there, that's you.
Did you know the game within this game is me discovering important facts about each state, in that each state has a motto?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what Texas's motto is?
Bigger guns.
You'd be... That's right. It says it right here on this child's
I was
puzzle.
just curious.
No, it just says friendship. In Maine, who we were
Yeah.
just talking about, it just says, I direct.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Wow. We're learning so much today. California, the motto is, I have found it. Must be gold.
Oh my gosh.
All right, what do we got next?
All right, you ready to try to guess the next candy?
So
Or do
ready.
you want to guess the state? You want to guess the candy.
Let's guess the candy this one. We'll see if we
Okay,
want to
okay.
change
So
it
your
up.
options are Skittles, Almond Joy, Snickers, or Hot Tamales.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's an answer. Hot tamales. Like people from states, like that's their number one candy. Okay.
That sounds gross. Sounds like Texas.
So these states are Alabama, Oklahoma, and South Carolina.
Alabama, South Carolina, Oklahoma.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, Alabama, Oklahoma, South Carolina. You right.
Okay, well, I lived in Oklahoma for a bit.
Yeah, so what was the candy of choice
The candy of choice in Oklahoma?
out of these 4?
Probably hot tamales.
Nope.
It's definitely almond joys.
Nope.
And since now I've gotten those off the board, let me give you my real answers. Snickers. Which is the final
Ding,
one
ding,
is that
ding.
right?
No, it's
It's
Skittles.
Skittles.
Yeah,
I just
you
wanted to
nailed it.
Clear off the board here.
Yeah. That's their favorite candy in those weird states. Sorry. And if you like Skittles, your favorite candy, you're an outgoing person. You're easy to get along with because you are a good listener and accept all different kinds of opinions and people.
That
You have a
doesn't
colorful personality.
seem right.
You are very lively and spontaneous when you're hanging with your friends and never provide a dull moment. Did you feel that way when you were in Oklahoma?
No, it was the dullest moments of my life. So that seems wrong. I need a recount on Oklahoma.
They said that that's their top one. Okay. That's their top one.
You want to know Oklahoma's motto?
Oh my gosh, no.
Or their motto, as people would say. Labor conquers all things. labor conquers all things.
Love that.
This seems made up.
It is.
Okay.
Just kidding. I don't actually know.
Oh, and Alabama was one of them too. We dare defend our rights.
Oh my gosh.
What was the other one?
I didn't even
poor
get
Alaska.
All right, are you
Alaska's north to the future. All right, I'm ready.
Okay. This one only has one state that likes this candy.
Okay,
and it's
great.
Idaho. And your options are Kit Kat, Hershey, Almond Joy, Snickers, and hot tamales.
I think it's got to be obscure then. And you said it's Idaho?
Idaho.
It seems like a hot tamale place.
It's not.
Then it's definitely an Almond Joy place.
It's not.
Are you kidding me?
No.
There's only...
So it's the number one candy in that state.
Yeah, but that's
And
what I'm
it's-
saying.
I know. It's not something you would expect. It's neither of those ones.
But what I'm saying is, like, if it was Kit Kat,
Yeah.
which maybe it is.
It's not.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be because Kit Kats are great.
Yeah.
So I would assume, since we've had 2 other questions, at least with like 6 of the states agreeing, I was like, this has got to be more obscure, but it's not.
It's not.
So it's going to be Hershey's bar.
No.
It's Snickers?
100%. Only
Wow.
that was the only state that had it as its top was Snickers.
Yeah.
And it's green.
I hate to tell you, but in terms of candy bars,
I don't like Snickers.
it's kind of basic, even though this one is, quote, ghoulish green. So
A ghoulish green.
we got that going for us. All right. How many more do we have?
Keep adding stuff. A couple. I can go faster.
No, whatever it takes.
Okay. There are 5 states that like this one.
Okay.
So this was the third.
Oh, wait, you need an Idaho fact. The motto of Idaho is, it is forever.
Yeah. My grandma lives there.
Shout out, Grandma.
Okay. This is the third best candy according to the United States of America.
The whole country?
Like it's according to like if M&M's was number 1 because it had 7 states, that was its number 1.
Oh, so the most states.
Sour Patch Kids
like
was
this.
number 2 because of
Okay.
6. This is the next in line, and those states are Florida, Iowa, Kentucky, New Hampshire, and Wyoming.
Okay. Well, Florida, we always talk about Florida in our stories because the craziest things happen there, which obviously is why we all know that Florida's.
No.
Yeah, you know it's happening.
Oh my gosh.
In God we trust. That took a turn. Not what I thought from Florida.
I mean, it fits.
And give me another state that it was popular in. Just one more.
Kentucky.
Kentucky. We have the chicken. That is not their phrase. And I also don't understand how this is labeled back here.
That's
So I'm
okay.
stalling. Kentucky.
Which one do you think it is? I gave you options. You have multiple
United
choice.
we stand, divided we fall.
Yeah.
I have the answer to this.
Okay,
one,
what is it?
For sure.
What is it?
Without a doubt, it is the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
How did you know that?
Because I do think it is the most popular, not candy ever, but people like peanut butter and people love
Yeah,
peanut butter
I'm
and
gonna eat
chocolate.
this during the
2
show.
great tastes
go
that
right here.
taste great together.
Yeah, if I
is
would have said
Reese's.
North Carolina, I thought maybe you'd get that, but only because of Rhett and Link.
I
But
do love Rhett and Link.
It wasn't.
I
Okay.
think I already gave you my fun fact from North Carolina.
That's okay.
didn't I?
Out of these choices right here that we
Yeah.
have on the board,
Okay.
you have Hawaii,
I'm sorry,
Nevada,
what's that?
Hawaii,
Thank you.
Nevada,
Okay.
Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and West Virginia.
In West Virginia. Well, my choices are.
Kit Kat, Hershey, Almond Joy, Hot Tamales.
Okay. Well, if I was in West Virginia and I was trying to eat candy, I would think of my motto, my state's motto, which, as we all know, is Mountaineers are always free and eat free on Tuesdays. I may have added that part.
These ones,
Okay. Those are my options. Wow.
yes. And this,
Oh, is that one in your hand part of it?
no.
Okay.
Just the ones up here. And the ones I read off. And this has four states.
Okay.
4 states, which I read to
4
you, but 4
states.
states.
Got it.
Hawaii, Nevada, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. Kind of gives it away, but
It gives it away?
yeah.
Is it hot tamales?
No.
Why do we even have these tamales? Why do they exist? No one likes them.
Okay. Did you hear me though?
Did I?
Hawaii,
Yeah.
Nevada, Pennsylvania, West Virginia.
Almond Joys,
Oh my gosh.
Kit Kats.
No.
It's definitely Hershey's bars.
Yeah, isn't Hershey?
Boy.
Isn't it Hershey, Pennsylvania? Not where Hershey bars are made.
I'm not a map doctor. I don't know.
Like it's a big deal. Someone fact checked me, but I'm pretty sure they're made in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we haven't had a fact
Pretty sure that's
check in
where
a
the
while.
Hershey factory is.
That sounds right.
Yeah, Hershey, PA.
There we go.
I nailed it. Look, don't need to fact check me anymore. I got it.
Well, maybe their motto should be Hershey's. It's our motto, and not virtue, liberty, independence.
No.
Now, if you were in New Mexico, it would be it grows as it goes.
Well, speaking of New Mexico,
Tell me more.
I'm gonna add in Twix and the worst candy ever.
What?
Candy corns.
Oh, those are not good.
Minnesota, New Mexico, and North Dakota have this as their number one favorite candy.
North Dakota and where? Wait, didn't we just... No, Dakota. Got it.
North Dakota,
Yeah.
New Mexico, and Minnesota.
Uh-huh.
This is their top candy.
Oh, is it something cheese-based from Minnesota?
Do I
No,
have
that's
any?
Wisconsin, isn't it?
Yeah. I was like, I don't think I have any cheese
Wisconsin.
things here.
It's pretty close to the cheese state.
No.
All right, so we're looking at like a North Dakota. That's what you're telling me, right?
North Dakota, New Mexico, Minnesota.
Well, what do I know about North Dakota? Just the same stuff that everyone knows. Like that its capital is Bismarck.
Oh my
We know that. Its population is about 636,000. Duh. Founded in 1889. Motto, Liberty and Union.
Make a guess. McGillicuddy.
I'm going to go with candy corn.
No.
Oh, good. Well, that gives me hope in humanity. Is it the freaking hot tamales?
It is.
There we go. We finally did it.
Hot tamale.
Hot tamale. Have you ever had a hot tamale?
No, you want to try one?
I've tried them. They're horrible.
Well,
I'm not a big cinnamon person. So Big League Chew, hot tamales, all that's okay. We are eating it. This is great.
cheers.
Cheers. Think it. Sink it. Oh, that's about exactly as bad as I thought it was.
It's like Fireball, but worse.
Yeah, well, Fireball's another terrible thing.
Simon's going to love these.
Did you know?
Oh, Simon. She loves cinnamon things.
She's probably here right now. We could probably give it to her.
I'm gonna.
Did you know?
I'm listening. I'm just reacting.
Well, good news, bad news. I was about to give you a fun fact, but I forgot what it was. I remembered. Did you know that Fireball, the whiskey company, it's like a cinnamon flavored whiskey, is getting sued? I believe it's a class action lawsuit.
Buy hot tamales.
Yeah, it's a long outstanding feud.
I'm just curious.
Who is the worst thing you can consume?
What?
No, apparently there's no whiskey in their mini bottles. You know, those like stocking stuffer sized ones. Apparently, I
is
guess
it?
someone tested it. I don't know. I think it's just cinnamon and evil.
Nasty.
It's not good. Oh, did you spit that out or you still got it?
I ate it.
We got to wash that down with something better.
What other? I'm gonna eat this Reese's here in a
You
second.
know what's going to taste
Probably this
terrible?
Twix.
Peanut butter chocolate cinnamon.
Okay, well, probably Twix. So where
right.
do you? Well, I now have told you that we're talking about.
We're
Twix.
talking about Twix.
So it's 2 states.
2 states. It's Indiana and Colorado.
No.
Break me
Good
off a
guesses
piece.
though.
That's a Kit Kat bar, actually, huh?
Yeah,
Kit
it is.
Kats are so good. Twix. Oh, that's why. See, I was thinking Kit Kat, even though you showed it to me, because everything is green for some reason.
Yeah.
None of these labels are normal.
It's because of Halloween.
Okay, so this is
One of these states isn't. Well,
this is New York and Arizona.
no,
Neither of them.
no.
Give me a hint. Describe what type of person likes Twix.
This one may suggest that you tend to have an argumentative personality.
New York for sure.
Of course, everyone knows about the big debate between right Twix and left Twix.
Duh.
Some may have a preference, but if you do, you are set on that side and will go to the ends of the earth to drive that point home.
Michigan.
There's no agree to disagree.
Right. Tennessee.
No.
All right, you're gonna have to give it to me. What is it?
Alaska
What?
and Montana.
Alaska, which of course is north to the future, and would you say Montana? Mm-hmm. I thought I said Montana.
No. This is not a great Twix.
It's not. It's because it's green, and it's not the right
I throw this in here?
shape. Yeah, of course. Gold and silver is the motto of Montana,
Love it.
so that's cool.
All right. This state. Okay, wait. Okay, Connecticut and Missouri.
Connecticut
Out of the 3 that are up here.
and Missouri. All right, I'm looking
Almond
at
Joy,
Connecticut.
Kit Kats, and candy corn.
Connecticut and Missouri. Well, Connecticut, as we all know, their motto is "He who transplanted still sustains."
Yeah,
We all learned that
Makes
in
sense.
school. So that's Connecticut, and what was the other state you said?
Missouri. Peter's
Bad
from Missouri.
memory. Peter's from Missouri. Welfare of the people shall be the supreme law.
And they like
They like
the top candy in those states.
Kit Kats.
No.
Almond Joys?
Yes.
Really?
You like Almond Joys, don't you?
I do like Almond
Here you
Joys,
go.
yeah.
It's your
They're
little prize.
underrated. These are underrated candy. And people are like, I don't like coconut. It's not the same. Yes, it's a coconut flavor, but it's not the same thing. You can eat this and enjoy it. The little almond on top is the joy.
Yeah.
You need it.
Okay, listen. I'm not going to tell you the state. And this time I'm going to give you the candy. and you have to tell me. There's only one state that it's the top in.
Yep. Okay.
If you like this candy, you like to jump on the bandwagon. While quite the controversial candy of the season, probably the only reason you like it is that it's that time of year and you want to participate in stereotypical Halloween events. There are better candies to enjoy, but I'll let this one slide. And it's obviously candy corn.
It is obviously Ohio.
It's not, but that is a great stinking guess. Ohio's favorites are blow pops.
Oh, those are horrible
I know.
too.
I didn't get them, but yes, I mean, still terrible candy.
OHYO, guys. Why? Is it New York? Concrete butthole where dreams are made
we
up.
already said which one New York was.
Then it's definitely
Sour Patch Kids from New York.
Is it Illinois? Sorry for everyone listening. In your ears just popped in your ear.
No. We know people from this state, and it fits. And then I also feel bad for them.
Yep. Tennessee.
No.
Florida.
No.
It's Arkansas.
We don't know anybody that lives in Arkansas.
I know you don't know how many people I know. I know
people.
a lot of people,
and I love them, and you love them, and I feel bad for them.
Okay, the answer is Utah.
Oh my gosh, Jansen!
Is that true?
Jansen, you need to help me understand how this is the favorite candy of Utah.
Oh, I love you guys.
Candy corn.
Stop being so white. That's the whitest answer. That's like, what's your favorite bread? And you're like, sandwich bread. No, we have to eat these too.
You know, I haven't had a candy corn in a long time.
Yeah, prepare to be disappointed. She's gonna eat it. I'm just gonna rub it on the microphone. So
Eat
if
it.
you're no. Listen, this is for you, Craig.
No, eat it. You're gonna get all over the.
Oh yeah.
This is like.
I'm not eating this. I'll eat it. It's pretty bad.
It's like-
wax. It's just wax.
Truly, anytime. I mean, it just brought back memories of like my grandma having these out on a little dish.
Yeah.
And you could eat them, and you get so excited because you're like, "Oh my gosh, it's candy!"
Free candy.
And then you take a bite and be like, "What the heck is this?"
Oh wow, it's garbage.
I hate candy corn.
I will say that this is the first one we've had so far that has gotten worse and worse the more you eat it. At least the hot tamale, once it got to be in a hot tamale, you're like, it's gonna be this. This one gets worse and worse.
Yeah. Also, the biggest letdown of the entire thing is that Kit Kat did not make the number one in any state.
Any?
And I was like, what?
Oh. Kit Kat's maybe one of the best.
Yeah, for sure. It just shows you that people are the worst. Just kidding.
I agree.
Other candies that made the list that we're not talking about today, but I'm going to say lemon heads.
Okay. Oh, that's someone's favorite?
Louisiana. Lemon heads. Milky Way was one. Jolly Rancher. Three Musketeers. All pretty good ones.
I know Jolly Ranchers are candy, but I don't think of them as candy like this.
But they are. Butterfingers. Tootsie Pops. That's Tennessee. Just
Tootsie
so you know.
Pops?
Yeah.
Talk about boring, man.
Starbursts.
Okay,
Hershey
that's
Kiss, not to be confused with the Hershey Mini Bar. And that's it.
A Hershey's Kiss is really, really boring too.
Yeah. So I don't know what that teaches you. Maybe you learned something about the number one candy. What I learned and what I'm taking away is that SP thinks that California is boring because we picked M&Ms. And here's what I'll say to that. It would not be my number one choice.
No.
I would have picked
Brooklyn
Reese's.
eat a lot of M&Ms.
I would have picked Reese's,
It is the best one.
which is what I'm going to eat right now. Can I offer
Yes.
any candy?
No. Oh, that's a lot of candy.
Trick or treat.
Thank you. I'm candied out at this point,
Okay.
but thank you.
You want to put any candy in here that you're not going to eat?
It's fine.
Okay.
Hey, so one of the things I did with the unpopular opinions, and I suppose it's going to be something we start for this whole season, is we don't just have people vote on unpopular opinions, but we do put up a question of the week. This week's question was, what movie or TV show had a great first season / first movie, and then terrible follow-ups? So I want to give you some time to think about it. I'll tell you some of the highlights that came through, okay?
Sorry, I'm going to eat this Reese's while you do that.
I was really just stalling for you to eat a Reese's.
Thank you.
So I took about just a handful of them. First one was Iron Man in terms of movies. Great start, and they didn't think Iron Man 2 or 3 were that good. The reason I put it in there, though, is because, unfortunately, I kind of felt that way with Don't Drop It on the Pillow.
I got it.
I felt that way about Black Panther, which is unfair
I don't
to
think
say.
that's their fault.
Yeah, I agree. It is absolutely unfair.
May you rest in
But
peace.
when I read this one and saw it come through, I was like, yeah, that's how I felt about Black Panther.
You also
too.
have to ask yourself this question. This is what I would ask whoever said that. Does that mean that you felt that the Avengers movies weren't good? Because truly, I feel like although it's not just about Iron Man, I do feel like the Avenger movies are a part of the Iron Man series since he started it all and then ultimately, spoilers, ended it all.
Yeah, he took care of the problem. Well, my assumption is that it's just the Iron Man movies, but I don't know. This next one, full disclosure, I've never actually seen this movie or these movies. Hangover. I think you have.
Yeah. There's more than one.
I think there's 3, which is kind of, it feels like, oh, we're doing this again.
Yeah, I watched that in theaters when I was very, very involved in church and didn't know anything about it and was like, why did these people take me to see this movie?
Who took you to see it? Other people that you were very involved with?
Yeah, I think it was, either that or my brothers, but I'm pretty sure it was Tim and Monica. White people names. Sorry. As I said it, I was like, wow.
All right, the next one is the TV show American Horror Story.
Never seen it.
I haven't either. I remember when it came out, and it seems like, while it's fallen off a bit now, like Lady Gaga was in one of the seasons, and that was a pretty big season.
Yeah. This season, Kim Kardashian's in it. I think it might be a continuation.
It does seem terrifying.
Emma Roberts is in it. And I can never remember his name. Matthew Gergery.
Sure.
He's Logan Huntsberger from Gilmore Girls, who I freaking love. He's in this as well. He's also in The Resident.
I've ever heard.
What?
That's the most made-up name I've ever, name I've
Logan
ever heard.
Huntsberger.
Huntsberger.
His family was really rich.
Oh, well.
On the show.
He's got that sweet Huntsberger money.
Exactly.
Yeah. Next, The Sandlot.
Again, I say, there's another one of
them?
them.
Yeah, there definitely were. But that, of course, a cult classic. Have you heard of a show called The Ranch? Shout out to Shelby. I think Shelby sent this one in.
No, I'm sorry, Shelby. I don't know.
But apparently the first season's great, not the others. Sorry, that's literally all I can say about that one because I've never seen it.
Wayward Pines.
Which is actually literally the next one on the list. We talked about it a little last week.
That first season was so good, and then you knew the secret. And so when they did the second season, I was like,
yeah. I won't say it. I won't spoil it.
No,
but
because you should watch it. It's worth the watch.
It is worth the watch. Here's the deal. I think there was originally 3 Wayward Pines books, and they crammed all of them into one season. And
then they got renewed.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, so how do we live within, now that the secret's out, what's keeping people here?
Yeah.
And the answer is nothing.
Yeah.
And by keeping people here, I mean keeping people watching, not keeping people in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was a big letdown. But the first season, excellent. But there was one TV show that was far and away listed on here.
Really?
More than others. Yes.
What is it?
Numerous.
What is it?
Any guesses?
It's hard because I have last week's things in my head too.
Yeah.
But one TV show, is it a recent TV show or like an older one?
It's from 2000 and more recent. So not like 80s or 70s or anything.
Can you give me any hints?
I can.
Without fully giving it away?
That's tricky. I can give you some.
Heroes.
I don't need to give you clues because
it
is Heroes. Yeah.
Wow.
It's Heroes.
Yeah.
I've never seen Heroes. You have though.
Yeah. It's very good. And then it wasn't.
That's, I guess, the general consensus.
Yeah, it was like really good. And here's the deal, because I did stop watching it, probably because I got bored of it. They just started introducing, they had like, sorry, I didn't mean to hit that so hard. They had like their beginning set of like heroes, and like you had like storylines revolving around them and like this overarching one, right? It was really, really good. And then at some point in time, I think they started bringing in more heroes, and I think it got a little confusing because some of the other ones like were no longer there anymore.
Yeah.
So I did stop watching.
That's fair.
Although I will say this, I did start watching a little bit of again because Deanne Bray, who you don't know who that is, but
is that a person?
She is a famous deaf actress.
Oh, very cool. I'd never heard of
who
the names.
was on the show. She also was my teacher for 6 months for a semester.
Really?
Because I took sign language in high school. And the cool thing this is so off topic, but the cool thing about my high school is that if you were in ASL, they were only taught by deaf teachers, which is better because you actually learn, because they can't talk to you. You can't just talk to them. You're forced to sign it. Then I had an aide and stuff that could help, but like that was that in one of my years. I think it was probably my senior year. Mm-hmm. My ASL teacher got pregnant, and so was going to be out. And so they needed to find a sub to cover for her. And Deanne Bray was our sub for a whole semester. It was really, really cool. She was so nice, so sweet, amazing. And I started watching again because I was like, oh my gosh, I know her.
That's awesome.
Because she was on the show. It was cool.
Yeah, I remember when you taught me a little bit of signing because I was working with.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you with the deaf actress
From the Eternals.
Yes, that was at a D23 a few years ago, and I have to just say this goes for so many pieces in life. Going out of your way just to do something that, even if you're not perfect at it, but to try to be kind, it goes so far. She, her translator or interpreter rather, told me and everyone that I was with in the Marvel Studios team, they were like, she was like blown away that you guys would, you know, greet her like that. And I had a friend, JC, but he was with me and he signs as well. So he was signing. And it just, if you can go out of your way to be kind to people, just little things go a long, long way. Yeah. So be kind. Be nice out there, everybody.
And learn some sign language. Comes in handy.
It does. It really comes in handy for us on the road because I can ask Kellie if she's doing production work with me or for me. Yeah. We have quick signs for different things, for water or chapstick. Or
it's like the actual signs, but yes.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, though. I'm not putting full sentences together, but I'm like, water. Get water. Thank you.
Yep.
All those kind of things. So thanks for that. You know, one thing, and this is maybe unfair to put on this list, going back to the list of TV shows and movies. Modern Family is probably on that list for me. Not because I can say that it was bad, but I remember loving the first season of it and then kind of just falling away from it. And this was before you had every single TV show, all of the seasons available at your fingertips. There was a lot less media out there to consume. Yeah. So if you did fall away from something, like, it was a little surprising. Yeah. Pardon me. So I'd maybe put that on there. But they had an incredible run. So I'm not bashing that show at all. But that would be up there. Do you have anything you'd add to the list?
You know what's funny is I've been trying to think about it this whole time, and I think I just come back to I watch, I guess, more TV than I think I do, according to you.
We've come full circle.
But I also have shows that like I enjoy watching. And so if a show doesn't hook me, or if I really like it and then I don't like the second season, like I won't necessarily persevere to watch it because I'm like, I would rather watch Veronica Mars again.
Well, that's the thing, is because there's just so much to watch. You just started watching
right over that. Yeah. Yeah, because you want to know why? It's because you started talking about last week. You asked the question of like, what's a TV show you wish you could watch and not know? Yeah. I don't remember enough about Veronica Mars to be able to be able to know. But as I'm watching it, I'm starting to remember more, and I am kind of like, man, I wish I was watching it for the first time.
Yeah, that's fair. And now you are, not for the first time.
But but I don't. Yeah, but anyways, I can't really think of any.
Well, if it comes up, shout it out.
Yeah, there are certain shows that I watch that I'm like, you should have stopped. Bones is one of those. I stinking love Bones. I don't like when they put Jack Hodgins in a wheelchair.
Which is where you just arrived
and so I went to something different because it makes me sad.
Yeah, you know, The Office was a little bit like that, but The Office had like 6 incredible seasons. And then
Steve Carell left.
Yeah, and it's hard to find your way when, like, kind of the captain of the show, so to speak. And I don't mean in terms of the captain of the actors, but like the main focal point of the show goes away. You see that happen with a lot of shows. They just kind of dissipate, or they create a spin-off or something. So I might put that on there too. Yeah. Either way.
Okay.
You ready for some? What's up?
I'll think about it. I was gonna say, I just
shout it out later if you think.
Like I said, I don't think that I don't give the time to TV shows that I don't like.
That's true. Not anymore. Not anymore. Got a couple unpopular opinions here.
Okay.
Lots of polarizing ones. You ready for those? All right. So you weigh in
on
your thoughts. If it's your first time watching or listening to the show, this is Unpopular Opinions, where we let you vote on unpopular opinions to see if they're polarizing or truly unpopular, split down the middle. Who knows? I guess that'd be controversial opinions.
Yeah. I feel like polarizing is the same as controversial.
So, polarizing. Yeah, kind of.
Like it's like they're polarizing views.
Yeah. You know, semantics. I don't know. All right, first one.
Just trying to correct your grammar.
Oh, who would do such a thing? First one. It's fine to call the monster from Frankenstein.
I mean, that's not his name, but sure.
So you disagree with this?
I don't necessarily disagree because I think we've all called him Frankenstein, but that's not his name. I don't know what his name is. He's just the monster that Frankenstein
created. The Frankenstein monster, or Frankenstein's monster.
But I think that it's socially accepted that if you call him Frankenstein, everyone knows that you're talking about the monster, not the scientist.
Agreed. And 90% of people agreed with you.
Yeah.
This next one, Bourbon Street in New Orleans, is not as great as most people hype it up to be.
Never been.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can say probably for us that I believe is accurate.
Yeah. We're going to New Orleans.
We're going to
Louisiana.
Yeah. Close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, 87% of people agreed.
I can't believe that many people have been there.
Well, I don't know if they've been there or if they're just like, yep, It's probably not that cool. Who knows?
I don't know.
This one was one of my favorite ones.
Okay.
How you behave online is the true test of character, and many people are surprisingly rude and awful.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the internet has given most of us a glimpse into parts of people that we never would have seen.
Yeah. People just, something happens where they're like, I can hide behind my little computer. And I know people have said that for forever, but it's true. I mean, you can even look at it in the comments. I mean, I don't read the comments of anything that gets posted on our pages. Sorry to say any positive or negative. I just don't read it. But from the negative ones you've told me, people just are just mean to be mean.
Yeah.
Not everybody should have a podcast. Yeah. Not everyone should have a computer to type. Yeah. So, but it's things like that where I'm like, why do you have to be like, what's the point? If something is bringing someone joy, or if someone is liking or wanting to post something or to have something out there, at least they're being creative. You're just sitting behind a computer judging them.
Yeah.
Which is what they're also having the courage to do, is to say, I know people are going to judge me, and some people will love me and some people will hate me. And I'm going to put myself out there anyway. And you choose to be like, yeah, instead of being like, oh, good for you for doing that, I could never do that. You're like, I'm going to spread hate. Yeah.
And I'll hide behind my profile picture of an anime character in my 0 followers and just crap all over people.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
I can't stand it. If you're going to be mean, then be you.
Yeah.
Let me see you.
Yeah, exactly. But they don't, because they're just here to rile people up. And I agree with that. Yeah, the internet is a terrible place. Could have been so good. I've probably said this before, but I don't think our brains are ready to handle what the internet provides.
Yeah.
Which is access to everyone all the time. And so, yeah, a lot of people will go out of their way. And I don't understand this, because we thankfully don't have any of these types of people in our life who are like, yeah, like, I don't know who this person is, but I want to make sure that they know that I hate them. It's like, who does that? Yeah. Who gets joy from doing that? Yeah. I don't get it, but that's the internet. And I agree. 87% of people agreed as well. That's, it should be a test of your character. I remember in one of the gyms we had in my high school, it had that quote from, boy, I'm just not great with names, the basketball coach from UCLA, John Wooden. And it said, like, integrity is who you are when no one's looking. Yeah. And that used to be like the definition of integrity and character and that kind of stuff. But it's weird. Like, people don't seem to care about that stuff as much anymore. No. Like, they're just willing to be hurtful and harmful or lower something to raise themselves up. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's tons of people now, and I'm not going to get political, but there are tons of people just in the world that say that it's okay for people to do that now. Yeah. So I think it gives people more freedom and more confidence to be like, well, if they're doing it, then I can do it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, well, but can you? Yeah. I mean, freedom of speech and all, but. Yeah. Yeah. But freedom of speech. Yes. Great. We live in a country where that's important, but also, didn't we all grow up hearing, like, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all? Yeah. But people don't care. People don't care. And so I don't know if it's different. Like, if people are just different now and saying crappy things all the time, or if we just see it all the time because the internet gets broadcast to the whole world. Yeah, that's true. And I will say this, because I did say freedom of speech. However, we've watched enough documentaries now to know that that's not true. Like, hate speech isn't freedom of speech. No. Hate speech it can be considered a crime at certain levels, and you can get in trouble. And so I do think people take that out of context and go, well, I can just say whatever I want. But I'm like, but you can't. Yeah. You and can't. Also, and you shouldn't. I don't remember what the initial question was, but what I will say is that if you're choosing to go online, you're saying that that's who you really are, and spread hate, like, you should probably reevaluate who you are and where you're at, because it probably just means that you're a terrible person. And I know that's really mean to say, but, like, I don't think I've ever commented anything mean on anyone's post. Me either, because there's enough hate in the world, and me saying something rude, one, is not within my character to do that. Yeah. I'm more likely to yell at a soccer game than I am just to say something mean, because I don't want to carry myself that way. Yeah. I want to be a person in the world that is putting positivity and light and love and joy into it, not just making sure I rain on everybody's parade. Yep. And I think hurt people hurt people. I think something certainly changed within the last, I'd say, 8 years. Yeah. People have been worse and worse in terms of kindness. Yeah. Which actually leads us into the next polarizing opinion. Okay, I'm ready. Which is, too many people who describe themselves as, quote, brutally honest enjoy the brutally part much more than the honesty part. Yeah. Yeah. 88% agreed with that one. And it kind of goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. I don't need anyone to be brutally honest with me except for you
and Brooklyn and probably my parents.
But you know what? Is there ever a time for that? I'm sure. But brutally honest? How about compassionately honest?
I think that's
How
better.
about lovingly honest?
Yeah. Why do we have to be mean in that?
Exactly.
And I understand that constructive criticism is exactly that. It's constructive, and you can be honest and give me constructive criticism and help me grow. But you don't have to be like, you suck.
Right.
Your podcast is terrible, and this is all the things you should change because you're boring.
Yeah, we already know those things. We already know that.
So don't come at us like we don't know. Just kidding.
But yeah, so I think what's tricky for me with this is that phrase people can use as like a character trait. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just brutally honest.
Yeah.
That's different than like, if you don't stop doing this behavior, you're going to die. Or, because you're doing this, if you continue to choose that, this is what I'm going to have to do for myself. Like those type of brutally honest moments, I get it, but they should be moments. They shouldn't be every day. And you shouldn't fight for that to be a label on your life. Like, I'm just the brutally honest person.
Hi, I'm Kellie, and I'm brutally honest.
Yeah, and that's why no one wants to hang out with said person.
I know. Now I know.
You should be nicer. You're the nicest person I know. Well, thankfully, like I said, 88% agreed.
That's
only
good.
12% disagreed.
I want to hear from you, 12.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself
I don't
brutally
think
honest?
you do, because they're going to be brutally honest
No, I'm just
about
curious.
it.
Do they think that they are brutally honest? Is that why they said that? Or do they appreciate brutal honesty?
I don't know if anyone appreciates brutal honesty. I know some people do. It's usually the people who probably say they are brutally honest can handle it. But in my experience, those are not the people who can handle it.
No.
Before we go on to two lighter ones to lighten the mood a little bit, I will say, speaking of the internet, congratulations
On?
I was going to congratulate you for hitting 2,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
And for hitting 1 million views
That's
on one
amazing.
single clip. Yes, 1 million, but I can't do that.
One.
Because we are officially, at time of this recording, before we recorded it, at 1.6 million views on a single clip on YouTube. And we have officially hit 1,000 new subscribers since starting the show just 11 episodes ago.
Wow.
And that's just on YouTube. Again, I don't know
How many
how to look at it.
subscribers are we up to?
We're at like
20.
2,200, 2,300, something like that.
Dang. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's exciting. So
Great job.
Yeah, if you guys are tuning in for one of the first times, welcome. We're glad to have you. Pulling it up right now. Yeah, 2,276. Look, I know a lot of shows have a bazillion followers. We're only 12 episodes in, and we're grateful that you're along for the ride. So congratulations on your 1.6 million views on one single clip and your 1,000 new subscribers. So speaking of funner things, here's a more lighthearted one. Bacon does not belong on burgers. Feel free to not say anything.
My initial reaction was going to be false, and then I went, well, it depends.
Yeah, my answer is I agree. It does not belong on burgers. It does not help. At least fast food bacon.
No.
Because if I'm having a bacon cheeseburger, I'm probably not making it at home.
Yeah, but if I'm making you a bacon cheeseburger with guacamole and Swiss cheese at home, I tend to make that with chicken more than I make that.
You make it with chicken, and do we cut up the bacon for that?
No, I
It's
just
just
put
strippies.
Yep.
Look, I really don't. I understand that bacon is like. Speaking of personality traits, people are like, I love bacon.
Yeah.
Like, great, get your cholesterol checked. But for me, it doesn't belong on burgers. I don't like it.
Yeah, I would say it's not my favorite thing on burgers, but there's a time and a place. But it's probably not my preference. A chicken burger every time.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Beef burger?
Not every time. Never at
Almost.
fast food places.
No. If you're making it at home, I think it's totally okay to put bacon on your burger. If you're going to a fast food place, you don't need it.
That's the tricky thing for me. In the same way that you and I love eating steak at home because the
Yeah.
way we make it, but we don't like it at Ruth Chris or Lowry's or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's similar with bacon. Bacon at home is great.
Mm-hmm.
Bacon from any place where you order it, not even just fast food, like fast casual or sit down
Yeah,
restaurants.
it's normally not great.
It is like thin, bookmark thin.
I know.
It doesn't have any flavor. It's not good. So
it's not great.
that's what I think usually.
Yeah. I'll say no. What did the people say?
Only 14% agreed with me.
What, that it doesn't belong?
That it doesn't. So
Okay.
86%
Hey,
said
people
it
like
does
bacon.
belong there. I'm telling you. And they're going to be brutally honest about it. You know that.
Yeah.
The last one of these polarizing opinions is Dr. Pepper tastes like cough medicine. Wrong. Disagree.
I was like, I know that you don't agree with that. I don't think that either. But we are a Dr. Pepper family. Well, when I say we, I mean you. You really like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, and Brooklyn was like, I like it. Now she's like, I don't like it.
She likes root beer more than she likes Dr. Pepper. That's why.
Yeah.
And they're not the same flavor.
Not at all.
So
yeah, remember I was like, hey, do you guys have root beer? They're like, no, we have Dr. Pepper though. I was like, that doesn't what?
I know it's not the same. It's
Do you have
good
Coke?
news for you.
No, but we have Sprite.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay.
All right, I see it.
Okay.
But I don't think it tastes like cough medicine. Did the people agree, or were they like, it tastes like cough medicine?
25% agreed, so not that many. 75% disagreed, which means that Dr. Pepper holds a special place in more people's hearts than I realized.
It's getting cold in here.
I know, it's a little chilling. All right, I got a few more. These are the ones that were the closest.
Okay.
Listening to an audiobook is not the same thing as reading a book.
True.
Really?
Yeah, but I am a reader.
You are.
And I like reading more than I like listening. And this is my kind of rule of thumb that I'm at right now, is that I read any book that I'm like really interested in wanting reading. But I will listen to autobiographies.
Because
Truly
it's about
only listen to autobiographies, because normally they're the ones who are
reading it
to
narrated
you.
by themselves.
But it is harder for me to listen to a book. But it's just the way that I learn. Like I'm someone that learns and takes in information better when I read it and I write it. Like that's how I learn. So if you're having me listen to something, it's easier for me to zone out.
Yeah, I was talking to Megan about this, or she texted me or something about it. And she did it the same way. Like we're auditory learners.
Mm-hmm.
And so if the point is to get the content of the book,
yeah,
I don't think it matters how you get the content. If you're listening to it or reading it. It seems like semantics to me for people to be like, you didn't read every word of it. It's like, I got every word
for sure. But it just depends on how you learn, because there are 6 different, I don't remember them all right now, but there are 6 different types of learners in the world.
Right.
And it just depends on, like you can be visual, you can be, what'd you say, auditory?
Yeah.
You can
be tactile.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of different ways. And so however you learn or however you take in information is great for you. For me personally, I enjoy reading, but I do have an Audible account and I do have a ton of credits and we listen to stuff. We should buy more books. But yeah.
So
I like reading though.
Yeah. 46% agreed that listening to an audiobook is not reading a book.
I mean, I think that it is reading a book. Does that make sense? I think it counts as reading a book. But if you ask me what my preference is, I would say I would want to read on my Kindle.
Yeah, that's fair. Let me give you one that's a quick one. Showers that are not fully closed off are stupid.
Yes.
Thank you. So many hotels that we've been to on gigs have like half showers, and then just whatever half of your body isn't getting hit by the water is freezing.
Yeah, I hate it. I'm like, if I'm going to be in the shower, I want to be warm.
Yeah, 67% agreed with that. 33%.
They haven't traveled enough. They don't know.
67% is still pretty high though.
Yeah,
2/3 of people.
It should have been 100.
So this one's fun, and then the next one is a little bit more. I wouldn't call it serious, but a little more thought provoking.
Okay.
So this one first though is the person doing the laundry should be the one checking the pockets before loading them into the washer. I didn't write any of these. So wait, let me finish it though, just so people can hear. The person doing the laundry should be the one checking the pockets before loading them into the washer.
I mean, no.
Agreed.
But I think here's what I think. I think you have to set up expectations and boundaries prior to asking yourself this question. Because
I think some people do set up expectations and boundaries, like make sure your clothes aren't folded before you put them in the hamper.
That's
if
me.
we've traveled, because I just throw them all in the washer, and if your jeans are folded 4 times, they're not going to get clean.
That's probably
and
true.
Sometimes when you are the one who does
somebody's
the laundry,
better.
Yes, I do the laundry.
He does
in
do
our
the laundry.
household, and I would,
which I appreciate.
freak out if there was an expectation. There's only 3 people in our family,
Oh my
and
gosh.
half the time it's only 2. If you have like a big family and you're responsible for doing the laundry, to have the expectation on you to check every pant and short pocket
That's a lot.
it's insane.
Yeah, it is
Take
the
your
wearer.
stuff out of your pants before you throw them in the
It
laundry.
is the wearer's responsibility to do that.
Thank you.
Unless you have kids, in which case you should teach them, but then also check.
Well, only 49% of people agreed with us.
Oh, okay.
So 51% thinks it's the people who are doing the laundry. It's their
Those are
responsibility.
the people that don't do laundry.
Exactly.
51%
well, that's
of
the
you.
thing, because you have to agree that this question means someone is doing laundry for more than just themselves.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you're doing your own laundry,
You're going to check your pockets.
yeah,
So
it's your responsibility. So I do think 51% of these people
are
like,
not doing.
No,
they're like,
I'm never going to empty
whoever
my
does
pockets.
laundry. Yeah.
Look, you're never going to forget your phone in your pocket and do the laundry.
Yeah.
Just let that be the same thing with your wallet, keys, notes, pens.
Yeah.
Get them out of there.
Yep.
You're in big trouble. All right. So we have one more unpopular opinion to talk about, and it's the one that's he's a little bit more fleshing out, and I think is tough for people. This one, I'll give you the percentage after. The unpopular opinion is divorce shouldn't be as socially accepted as it is, saying that the person who wrote this thinks that divorce is kind of a norm now. I'm like, it's no big deal.
And so your question is saying that it shouldn't be that way?
This says divorce should not be as socially accepted as it is. Do you have a thought on that, or do you want me to jump in?
I do have a thought on that.
Let me hear your thoughts.
But this is, I would say, I guess, a loaded question and a personal experience. No, I don't have the personal experience, but you do.
Yeah.
So like close to our family, I guess is what I should say. I don't agree. I think it should be more accepted than what it is in our society. And I know people are probably like, you're crazy. You're saying that divorce is okay and that people should just get divorced. No, I'm not necessarily saying that you should get divorced. However, what I am saying is that we don't always know what people are going through. And it's not our job to judge others. It's our job to, this is like a Christian answer and I know it. It's our job to just love on people and make sure people are okay in the world. At least that's what I feel. Heard, valued, cared for. I don't think that's
a Christian answer at all. As a person who was divorced while at church, I was not met with love people.
Oh no, I know
the way they are. I was met with judge people and scorn them.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that's why I said it's a touchy subject. Yeah. I don't think that I don't think that divorce should be the normal thing, but I also think that in our society, people live in a right now culture where like, if I want it, then I can have it and everything. If you want groceries, guess what? You can order it online and have it within 2 hours if you want to pay enough. If you want a movie, you can download it right away. If you, want to go on a date, you can download an app and you can swipe right or left. I don't know which way. I've never done it, but you can do it. You know what I mean? You can get anything you want just so quick. And I think people come at life that way. And so I think that people need to be better at determining who their partner is going to be. And if you're choosing to enter into a contract that's saying, hey, that the government says we recognize you as an entity now, like you guys are two individuals coming together as one. Mm-hmm. Maybe you should think about that a little bit more than just like, I'm just going to get married because it's like, what, this is it, you know? And at the same time, I think there should be more grace and more love towards people that are getting divorced, because it's probably because they're not happy. Maybe someone's abusive in the relationship. Maybe someone cheated on one or the other. Maybe they've been in therapy and they can't work it out together. And instead of being miserable for the rest of their lives, they're choosing to be happy. So that's what I think. I also feel like you can compare it to a job, right?
Yeah, sure.
When I left Chick-fil-A, could you imagine if I had people calling me and asking to go to coffee with me and asking me like, why did you choose to leave? Why you should leave Chick-fil-A? I don't think you should do that. I really think that you should stay. It's for your best interest to do that. We'll hold whatever they're doing. We'll hold them accountable if you just go back and you just like keep working and keep doing this thing. Nobody cared. Yeah, people asked why, and maybe they were excited for whatever I was jumping into. But like, no one was like, oh my gosh, why are you leaving this place? And like, you can't do that. And that's totally wrong.
Yeah.
Yet when it comes to divorce, people always feel like, oh, well, I got to fix it and it's bad and it's wrong and it's not okay. It's like, well, but you don't even know. And you're not even willing to ask. You just want to be able to put in your thoughts of like why you think that shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
I know I'm talking a lot, but I have so many thoughts on this. And I would also say, as someone who grew up in the church, come on. If you grew up in the church, in the non-denominational Christian church, you know that all they teach you is that you can't have sex until you're married. And if you're dating someone, you're dating them to marry them. And you can't just with the intention of marriage or courting them. You can't just date to date. That's not a thing.
Right.
And I think that perpetuates this problem of people being like, okay, well, I can't like be intimate with this person. And also like the intention is to marry them. So like, I guess whoever I'm with, oh, we kissed. Oh my gosh, like, or we messed up. We did something on accident that is inappropriate in the intimacy level. Like, oh, now I have to marry this person.
Right.
Without actually getting to know them, without actually working through problems, without actually talking about the hard things or figuring out if you even work out together or if it makes sense. And then 5 years down the line, 5, 6, 7 years down the line, you find that you're unhappy because you don't actually know the person that you're married to. And you realize that you married them out of religious
horniness.
No, that I was going to say, or religious like pressure.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah, this is what you're supposed to do. And instead of people meeting you and being like, yeah, maybe that was a stupid decision to make at 19, 20, 21 when you're still trying to figure out your life.
Yeah.
People go, well, you can't do that. You have to work it out. So I got so many thoughts.
It's okay. You want me to throw in a few?
Yeah. You've been quiet.
I just been listening. I love the way your mind works.
Thanks,
Divorce is not for everyone.
That's true.
Marriage is not for everyone.
That's true too.
I used to think that anybody could work it out with anybody. Mm-hmm. And I, much like most things in my life, you live enough life and you see things differently. I think, do you want to say it so you don't have to hold on to it? I think that for me, I want all good people to be happy. And it's tough that if you find yourself in a situation for many reasons, many of which you listed and many other ones, even just irreconcilable differences or growing apart, it can be that vague too. Like to make a commitment at sometimes as early as your teenage years and be expected to never waver from that, I think is a hard position to take. I know it's a bit loaded because there's a lot of religiosity in the thoughts of marriage. There's a lot of religious pieces of marriage, but newsflash, secular people get married too.
Yeah.
Like it's not a religious thing.
Yeah.
Religious people may argue that with me, but anyone can do it, whether they believe what you believe or you don't.
Yeah.
So I think that it is tricky to have a social expectation or contract that you hold other people to, and to say like, and to not seek to understand. Your Chick-fil-A example was great. Like no one's going to be like, I love this job at 18. I'm going to marry it and never change. And if they did, and they decided they want to go work somewhere else, no one, hardly anyone is like, what? You can't, that's insane. You can't do that.
Yeah.
But this is one of those things. I love our marriage.
Yeah.
I really, really do. And my hope, as you know, is that we'll be together forever.
We will.
I hope so. At the same time, let me put it this way. We've talked about like, if one of us dies, I want you to move on and be happy. I hope I could feel the same way if there was something that wedged itself in our relationship and we chose to not be together anymore, which is not what either of us want or think will happen. But I think that it's hard to doom someone to a life of being miserable just because they made a decision one time at 18, 20, and 25, something like that. So I'm not pro-divorce by any means.
No,
but I am pro the idea of, and we teach this to our kid, and we've done it for so long, is the only person responsible for your happiness is you. If you're not happy, you need to make a change. If you were just dating someone and we said that, you'd be like, yeah, I probably need to not be with this person.
Yeah.
The only difference between being married and dating someone is there's now a legal document binding you together.
Yeah.
Nothing's magically different. It's not a different person now that you're married. It's not easier when you're married. It's just legalized, so to speak. There's a contract there.
Yeah.
So I see you're holding on to two things.
I have two things. The first thing I want to say, I just want to make really clear and say it, is I hope that when I was talking that I didn't want anyone to think, or for you to think either, that I was saying like, yeah, you should, if you don't, not happy, like get divorced and it's totally fine. I think you should work at, we talked about this. I think it takes effort to make a relationship work. You have to choose to grow together. You have to choose to work through the hard stuff together. And divorce is not a automatic fix. If you're the first time you have like a hard time, you're like, hey, let's get divorced. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying like you said, if it's choosing between being miserable for the rest of your life or potentially doing something really hard and leaving to be miserable for a short time to ultimately be happy or try to find joy and happiness, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But you don't get to that miserable point until you've been in a relationship or a marriage long enough and have tried to work on it and it's not working.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not, I'm not saying that I want everyone to get divorced and I think it should be a thing that happens all the time. But I'm saying
we don't want any people who genuinely care about their relationship, their family, their marriage, themselves as a person, their partners as a person. We want happiness for those people.
Yeah, but I would like it to be more normalized that if someone gets divorced, rather than jumping on the bandwagon of like, you're a bad person or you need to fix it or like it's not okay, for more people to enter into those conversations with love of like, hey, how can I support you in this time? And like, you know, truthfully, if you don't know them, don't get involved. And this is the second thing I was holding on to, is that I wish more people would ask themselves the question, is this right or wrong, or is it just not my preference?
Yeah, that's
because
what we live by.
The truth is that even if you are very religious, your answers for you in your mind is probably divorce is wrong. But I'm here to tell you, it's just not your preference. Because you don't know what that person is going through, and it's not fair for you to say
to project on
it's completely wrong, and what you're doing makes you a bad person.
Yeah.
You know?
And also, I could give you some lines. I could draw some lines in the sand where you'd be like, well, if that, then yeah, for sure you should get, that's okay. Which means it's not right and wrong. It's just
your preference.
based on your preference of what's happening. And is that bad enough to make that decision?
Yeah.
Which, if it's not your life, it's not your problem.
Yeah. And if it doesn't affect you personally, then there's probably no reason for you to get involved.
Yeah, and I'll say this based on my experience too, with the disclaimer that you and I and Whitney and John are all friends and cordial. We don't go out and hang out a lot or anything, but we see each other, I don't know, 3-4 times a week. We go to soccer games together. We occasionally grab dinner or food. Like we're all fine. I will say, in my experience, having gone through a divorce, is that it's really horrible. Just on a personal level, the stuff that you're going through is really, really difficult. What makes it exponentially more difficult is taking on everybody else's feelings about it and the endless, hey, haven't heard from you in a while. Do you have time to go get coffee this week? Just to be kind of berated by people, or even kind people who are like, they're hearing it for the first time or whatever it is, and they're now going through their process of mourning and loss, which is all okay and appropriate. If you love two people, love them together, you've had a friendship or relation, whatever it is, it's hard when that's not going to be the case anymore. But in the same way, when my dad died, I was the one who called a lot of people and had to tell them about the funeral and that kind of stuff. One of my dad's friends, we'll call him Dave because that's his name, I called him, and this dude like lost it on the phone. He was like a father to me. I can't believe he's gone. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? And I was like, hi, real son right here, having a really difficult time. Like, I understand you're going through your stuff, but do that with your people. I'm not the person to vent about how hard it is to lose my father for you. Yeah. Like, you can calm down. And it was a lot like that in my experience, which everyone's entitled to their feelings, but everyone felt that they needed to let me know what their feelings were. Yeah. And that's hard. And one of the biggest, life is great. And I had to realize that a lot of us think that a lot of people will be in our lives forever. And it's just not the case. Just like chapters in a book, characters come in for a bit and they leave, because we're all the main characters in our own story. True. And we're just guest stars, co-stars, side characters in other people's stories, no matter how much we try to push our lives together. So I had to realize that people come and go. Mm-hmm. And I had some incredible friends, some longtime friends that walked with me through that process, even when that relationship split, but before things were finalized, met with me, talked with me, all that kind of stuff, and we're good friends. And as soon as those papers were filed, because it did, well, I won't say because I don't know what it was for them. Well, I will say, once those papers were filed and things were official, I never heard from those people again. It was like, we're going to walk with you to try to push it towards the right way, but if you make the quote unquote wrong decision, like that's it. And that, frankly, is what happened with pretty much all of my relationships. Yeah. Is that once we got to that point, it was like, sorry, dude, deuces. Yeah.
I know we're kind of off topic, but just to say, like, I don't think people understand. Oh God, I'm going to get emotional. Because what you don't know about me is that I am emotional. I cry at everything. I don't think people understand the hurt that they cause in something like that. And it's not just for the two people going through divorce. It's like the long-term effects it has on other people. Gosh, I'm so sorry.
You're okay.
But yeah. And I think if more people understood that and could see that, maybe they would have more grace, or maybe they'd have more understanding or choose to do that. I will say this, some of my biggest hurts in life come from your divorce, which is insane. Yeah. Because I wasn't even a part of it. Mm-hmm. But it's come from after the fact, when we were we were dating and now married, the way that people from your life before that are Christians and very involved in a church that believes love God, love people, have chosen to treat me and my family. Yeah. And I don't think people ever see or understand like that side of the hurt that comes with that. And I have a great example, and I've come out of it now. Like there definitely, I would say in our first couple years of marriage, it was hard. We'd go places and people would completely ignore me, but come up and say hi to you. And like,
we've been married for this May 5 years.
Yeah.
And this is still happening. Go ahead.
Yeah. And it used to really wreck me. Like I would not understand. Like I think I'm a nice person. I know that everyone can be mean and have different things, but I think genuinely speaking, I'm a nice person who cares about people, and I don't choose to pick fights or anything like that. I will just smile and grin and bear it. And I've never been treated more poorly than by people that are, I know it's terrible to say, but the Christians from your past life who have chosen to hate me just because I married you.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were at the, and you ran into someone that you knew for a really, really long time. We were with Ashley May, who also knew this person because she's from the church that you were at prior. And I was standing in the middle of the two of you. He gave you a hug, said hi to you. Ashley May said hi to her, looked me straight in the eye, and walked away. And I smiled at him, didn't smile at me, didn't even acknowledge me. I mean, even if he didn't know that I was your wife, which I'm 99% sure that he did, I like had my hands on your arm. So like, who else would do that but your wife? Because he knows you're married. And it was hard. And in another life, like 3 years ago, I probably would have left crying and been like so distraught over it.
Yeah.
But that has been my experience. And I know I'm not trying to take away. I'm just trying to say that I wish people would understand that like the choices that you make and the way you choose to support people does have lasting effects.
Yeah.
And it's not even, you probably don't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
All of you people that had conversations with him, took him out to coffee, took him out to lunch, have chosen to be complete jerks to me. You probably don't even think about it unless you see us. I live with it all the time. And I get nervous. I mean, we're in Simi Valley all the time now, which is where the majority of those people from that church live, because our daughter goes to school out here. Yeah. And it is hard to be like, oh, am I going to run into somebody when I go somewhere? And if I see somebody, like, just bracing myself to be like, are they going to be kind to me? Are they going to ignore me? Or are they going to be completely mean? And it sucks to live in a world where like people that are supposed to be nice and kind, because that's what their religion tells them, are like, no, I'm going to be spiteful and mean. And I'm going to purposely like be rude and say mean things about you behind your back, which was another conversation I had with someone this week who was filling me in on some of the things that were shared at this church.
Yeah, we found out about that later, which was not fun.
Yeah.
But before we get too far.
Sorry. We're back to the question.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I just want to say that part of the night, it was hard for me. And I know I told you, I was like, hey, I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah, and it wasn't your fault. I just need you to know.
Totally. But this person, I really love this person. And I was very excited to see him there. I had a great time.
This is great.
I loved it. But in the same way that it hurt your feelings to be ignored, it hurt my feelings as well. And I understand there's a risk that this person will be listening to this at some point. I love you. I love actually all of the people that I've had quality relationships with in the past. And I was really excited to see you and still am and would love to see you again. But it does hurt when people ignore, neglect. I mean, no one's being aggressively rude.
Not now.
But I don't know. My guess is that the people listen. This is not the same conversation, but to your point earlier, the same people when you're like, I might lose it here. Not cry, but lose the thought. They would say, oh, you're like, the way you treat people has lasting effects. Mm-hmm. I think the argument on the other side is like, just like divorce has lasting effects. And if you don't want lasting effects there, you shouldn't do the thing or whatever. You know what I mean? They'd probably say, yes, your point is the same as my point. My point is be kind to people, because you never know what someone's going through. And you don't need to be the person on the internet, like we talked about, that just goes around crapping on everybody. Like, my hope for everyone, every good person, is that they have joy and happiness in their lives. And if they've done something to hurt me or someone I know, or just something that I thought was wrong, but they did anyway, I don't have to live with their decision for the rest of my life. Like, that's them. And I would rather meet people, good people, in the place and space of love and compassion and kindness. And I hope that that's been the experience people have had as they've gotten to know me.
I think so. I think you handled everything really well. And even I watched you go through more stuff as we were together too. And I thought I know it hurt you, and I know you were in a lot of pain. And I think about that a lot. I'm like, you still treat everyone with kindness. Even when you see some of these people that I know weren't necessarily nice to, you still greet them with open arms and are kind and caring.
What's the point of being anything else?
Right. Nice and kind. That's how
we've said it before. None of us asked to be born and to have to go through this life and figure it out. Like, we're all just figuring this out as we go. And I can find compassion for most people if I can see it through the reality of that lens.
Yeah.
You want to switch to something a little bit lighter before we call it a day?
Sure.
Or do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I'll just say this. Just be kind to people. At the end of the day, that you just don't know what people are going through. And it's not just with divorce. It's just life in general. There's no need to be mean. There's no need to spread hate.
Yeah.
Like, let's just add a little love. And so this week, that's your challenge. Do something kind for someone. Try to make someone's day.
I'll spare you the story that got to this illustration, but one of the big things I've learned from my mom was the concept that the world keeps turning.
Yep.
Like, no matter what. So you can, no matter what happens, unless you die, you got to get up the next morning and live that day. Everybody has to do that, no matter how terrible their day was before.
Yeah.
So just find it to be nice to people, or not to engage at all if you don't need to.
Yeah.
If you can't be nice, don't do anything at all, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? And even that. Let's get something a little more fun. Shake it off.
For one story, is that what we have time for?
We have time for a story-ish.
Okay.
Story or two. I know.
Story-ish.
Story-ish. Here we go. This is going to be a little bit different, though.
Okay.
So I have some stories here.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you the title, but I'm going to leave out a few words.
Okay.
I want to see if you can guess what they are.
Okay.
Here's the first one. 13-foot-long blank survives 5 months eating blank in trailer park. Think about it as I say it one more time. 13-foot blank survives 5 months eating blank in trailer park.
Snake.
Okay. So 13-foot-long snake survives 5 months eating.
Anaconda, but same thing, right?
Sure. Yeah,
Am I right? Did I hit snake?
It is python.
So snake.
Yes. Survives 5 months by eating blank in trailer parks.
Takis.
For 5 months?
No, I don't know. Is it not like junk food? Is it like one specific thing?
I'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
It is 13-foot-long python survives 5 months eating cats in trailer park.
Why is this the one that you chose to share?
Well, I have more. But I shared it because here's what happens. As I pull these articles, a lot of them have great headlines but and really like no substance to it. So it's not really worth talking about other than mentioning. Okay. So sometimes I have to weed through certain ones to get to ones
Hit me
we're
with
talking
another
about.
one.
Well, can I tell you a few of the main points here? Because it was some of the quotes from this article were some of my favorite.
Okay.
Here's what it said. I'm going to do this in my best. I'm going to assume that this is Oklahoma, baby.
Oh, gosh.
That's right. The show me state or whatever it was. I don't know. We're talking that thing has been eating possums, foot-long rats, and cats, said Trevor Bounds of Redbeard Wildlife Control.
Okay.
The mouth on that thing is the size of your foot. And when it comes up, you're going to be able to fit something pretty large in there. That's the first one.
Okay.
Next. They can get up to 24 feet if you let them, maybe longer. The body on this snake is like Mike Tyson's bicep, but 13 feet long.
Oh, my gosh. We should just do Mike Tyson's bicep with a python head at the end of it.
That's why he's got two pythons.
It's the thumbnail. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can imagine that each one of those cats put up a nasty fight. So when it's been attacked that many times and to that extent, the nice, non-aggressive pet snake we once knew is no more.
It was a non-aggressive pet snake?
Allegedly.
Okay.
This thing is dangerous now. And the last thing was Bryant Elementary School is next to the mobile home park, and a large portion of the land doesn't have a gate protecting the kids from the potential of a giant python.
Did they catch it?
Not yet. Maybe. I don't know, actually.
Sorry, kids. It's the next headline.
Hey, good luck.
17-foot python
Eats
survives
Oklahoma school children.
Yep.
Don't bring your pets to school. That's what we're saying here.
Yeah.
That's
Leave them at home.
really the moral of the story.
Yep.
All right, I got one more fill in the blank for you, okay? Canadian man blanks 135 blanks in one sitting?
Eats 135 poutine fries in one sitting.
Individual fries.
I don't know.
You got eats right. Canadian man eats 135. You want to know the answer or you want to guess?
Give me a hint.
It is not, it is a food, but
it's
not a food that you would eat
In
on
Canada?
its own or, oh, I understand why you said poutine now.
Yeah.
It's not that. So it is not a food that you would typically eat on its own, and you certainly wouldn't want to eat 135 of them.
Okay, so my answer of hot dogs is out. 'Cause that was my next thing.
That would be a great,
Eats
easy one.
How many?
135 blanks in one sitting.
135. You wouldn't want to eat this on your own. 135 fire packets. Hot sauce packets.
Close.
What is it?
Canadian man eats 135 Carolina Reaper peppers in one sitting.
I was on the hot train.
You were close. You were close. I believe he set a record, but here's what he described it as. He said, the initial shock of spiciness is intense. The second one doesn't seem as bad, but each one after that gets hotter and hotter as the peppers touch new places in your mouth. He said, the mouth pain is nothing compared to the stomach discomfort.
Of course.
Duh. And he said, I get bad cramps. Duh, of course. It feels like someone is squeezing and twisting my guts.
He's from Canada.
It's squeezing and twisting my guts, eh? I can do it as a Canadian. I get bad cramps. It feels like someone is squeezing and twisting my guts, eh? Your mind is telling you to stop.
I don't think Christina's going to like this so much.
But you have to convince yourself to keep pushing through. They kind of got Irish at the end there.
Yeah.
I don't do accents at all.
That's okay. Was this for some, was he trying to beat the world record?
Yeah, I believe it was to set the Guinness Book of World
Did he?
Records. I think he did at 135.
That's
but
a lot.
how long are you paying for that after?
I don't know. Why?
I don't know.
I don't need to break any records that badly that have to do with that much spice and that much pain and that much cramps.
He's not for me. Nope.
But congratulations to you, Canadian man.
Way to go, Canadian man.
You did it.
You're this week's Why Did You Do That on Hardly Working.
Nailed it.
Well, we got some fun things coming up. I'm leaving tomorrow to go to Vegas. I'm going to open for Ashanti and Fat Joe.
Yeah.
If you were a 90s,
Fat Joe, is that his
2000
name?
hip hop, lean back.
Yeah.
Lean back.
Woo,
Yep.
great job. I'm excited for you.
We'll be doing that. And then I'm going to be up in San Francisco on Friday. I think I'm opening for someone, but I don't know who that is.
okay.
This gig, last year it was Fall Out Boy. And this year I'm not sure who it's going to be or if there is a headliner. But so I'm busy all week long with gigs. What about you? What are you looking forward to?
I have a pretty straightforward week. I have lots of time with Brooklyn, picking her up, hanging with her. This week, we really have nothing on the calendar, which is great. I'm excited to rest and relax and take some time. I have a couple inquiries out for some gigs that will maybe come back as yeses. So here's to hoping.
Yeah, and those are out of state and coming up real soon. So it might go from real chill to real hectic.
So I'm looking forward to just chilling.
Yeah, your week seems a lot different than mine.
I have a couple Legos I want to build this week. So I haven't built Legos in a while, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah, we're thinking about changing up the set in here too and incorporating some of those Legos.
Yeah, I think so.
Because they just sit in our house. Might as well put them in the studio.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But it should be a good week. I'm going to be honest. I've had a lot of anxiety today. I feel like I can talk about it now because it's at the end of the episode. I'd hate to start it with you know, I'm very anxious. Anxiety, big problem for me in general. But I woke up to some confusing texts today, from a name I didn't know that was your call time, just confirming it's 9 a.m. And I was like,
wait, what?
Yeah. Where? Who? It was for a gig in November.
Yeah.
It's that's very far away to tell me my call time. But it sent me down this whole thing, this just anxiety spiral, and I'm still kind of in there. I get like this when things start to pile up.
Yeah.
2 gigs out of state in the same week is a lot.
Yep.
I don't mean that it's a lot of work, but it's a lot to juggle in your mind in terms of have I packed everything? What does this gig need? What does that gig need? So it can get stressful. So I feel that anxiety a little bit, but hopefully we can calm that down a bit.
Yeah.
So if you got any tips on anxiety,
send it in.
Yeah, please. Seriously. But until then,
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You got this.
We'll get through it.
Yeah.
We'll make it through. And it was fun. I always love chatting with you. I love talking with everybody. And I love you.
I love you too. And send in your thoughts, complaints, concerns,
Actually,
compliments.
keep your complaints to yourself.
Yeah. And follow us at Hardly Working Insta on Instagram because we'd love to know and tell us what you guys want us to post there and what you guys want to see. Because I'd love to know.
We'll also be doing all of our voting there. I think in November we'll switch from my Instagram to just doing it on the Hardly Working one. Once we start, it's brand new, so there's like hardly anybody there yet. So we're going to give that some time. But that's it. And of course, you can email us at hardlyworkingfans@gmail.com. Anything you want to. Absurd stories, unpopular opinions, things you need us to solve.
Videos of you trying weird things.
Thanks, John. We're here for it. We're here for it all in your ear holes and your eyeballs every single week. 60 plus minutes of fun times.
Yep.
So that's all for this week's episode of Hardly Working. I'm SP.
And I'm Kelly.
We did a totally new sign off. We're loving it. And I'm loving you. And I love you guys too. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.